But keep something in mind here when we talk about dark wolf and light wolf energy, right? Whereas you may have one energy that's saying that you're a liar, another energy has always believed you, okay? Has always believed you. And I feel like something was reported. I feel like something was reported. Somebody told somebody something, because you may be working hard on something, like working on yourself. But the past influences would be the Eight of Cups. Right? You know, like somebody told you that they had eyes in the back of their head, right? And so when people say that, oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, like I can see things behind me, it would be like a energy, like when they walk away, they got eyes in the back of their head, right? Remember the, and not literal eyeballs, it's an expression obviously, but people are like, okay, they may be saying, okay, I'm having downloads of dreams of something from the past. I'm having downloads. I'm just having a memory of something. Remember, water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds us. So let's say, for instance, you have your moon sign is a water sign, right? Or you're connected to somebody with a moon sign that's a water sign, where if you live in a area where there's not like a lot of lakes or water or whatever around, or it's just pretty dry around it. It may take a minute to remember something, but somebody could have gone to a beach and that could have just washed away a lot of things and could have caused you to start remembering a whole lot of things that you weren't remembering before. See how this person is walking away from a beach? That's why I always suggest that people listen to water sounds if you don't live near water, or if you live near water now, you could be having dreams that's so overwhelming right now. I just feel like you're just crashing out, right? But whatever it is, I always tell people to, you know, like journal as much as you possibly can. But I feel like, looking at your cards here, somebody said you were lying about something, but somebody believed you. And that person who believed you spoke up, right? Said something, right? To some people who work in dark. Some people do that dark work, right? Could have told somebody who is a Scorpio, could have said something to somebody, and this could be you right here walking around smiling like everything is okay, whoever you are, but somebody told somebody who believed, somebody who works in like dark, you know, like does dark work. A Scorpio certainly would be an energy that is they would at least investigate. They would at least, you know, let me take a look at something, right? They wouldn't be like, okay, this person is just, it's just unbelievable. I can't believe that. They would at least look into something, right? Doesn't mean that, you know, somebody would find the truth in something or whatever. It just means that somebody would at least, you know what? Let me look at something, right? But somebody uses a burning bowl, right? And y'all know, like I tell y'all about burning bowls on my channel all the time, right? But I also tell people not to practice dark magic. Burning bowl can be used for, like, you know, you're writing down, let's say, you know, I no longer want to date this kind of person in my life anymore, and I'm elevated, you know, so I'm in a new space, I want to date somebody, or you could like toss your fear or whatever into a burning bowl. We're talking about light stuff. We're not talking about dark stuff. There are people who practice dark magic. I don't practice dark magic at all. So when I talk about burning bowls, it's like, you know, if you're saying, okay, I'm so scared, I'm not qualified for a job, or let's say it could be a job, and I'm looking at this right here, you know, I don't think I'm gonna get the job. You know, I'm scared. I don't feel like I'm smart enough. I don't feel like I'm, you know, I have the credentials. I don't feel like I have, you know, the education, whatever. I don't feel like I'm qualified, and something could be overwhelming. It's just merely for sort of like, okay, I'm going to toss fear. You know, I can see myself getting that job. I can visualize myself. You know, I got eyes in the back of my head. I can see myself walking through that door. I feel bold. I feel inspired. I got the job. It's like being courageous, okay? Now I toss all that fear into a burning bowl. I'm going outside and get some air. I'm stepping in out, see this person walking towards the sun. I'm cleansing all of that fear off of me. I'm cleansing all of that fear off of me. I'm getting outside and I'm getting some fresh air. I'm getting out in the sun and I'm just, so you'd be in your element, right? The water part of it would help you with washing away, in your mind, kind of like washing away just like the fear, the doubt, the, certain things, right? So somebody, whatever it's called, like eyes in the back of their head. Like somebody's psychic gifts would be like they have eyes in the back of their head. Like they know what people are saying about them behind their back. They know what people are doing behind their back, that kind of thing, right? Whatever that gift is called. But and some people will believe you, some people won't believe you when you say, okay, I got eyes in the back of my head. I know what people are doing behind my back. This is basically like I know what people are doing behind my back. But source, I just need some evidence. I need some proof of something. Show me what I'm not seeing here, right? And so somebody could have gone somewhere where people actually speak another language. And all of a sudden, things started coming back to you. Things started coming back to you. Right, things started. Your memory started coming back about the past. You could have been near an ocean somewhere, right? And things just started coming back to you. You and somebody could have been like, y'all got. This is a gift. You got eyes in the back of your head. So I'm about to look up to see what kind of, what that would be called. In terms of psychic gifts, like you just kind of sort of know what's being done behind your back, but you don't have any proof or evidence of it. In some cases, you just know that something is going on behind your back, and then when you ask source for the physical evidence or proof of it, then voila, it appears whenever you're ready, for something to appear, right? But for people who do astral projections, astral traveling, those kind of things. Some people believe in it, some people don't, right? Some people believe, so it's whatever you believe, right? So somebody could have been doing something saying that you work in a particular field, or you and somebody work in a particular field. It could have been so overwhelming for you. It could have literally driven you to drink or be on medication or whatever, even just to hear that somebody is a part of some kind of dark work, some kind of dark work, what was said behind someone's back. Like for instance, if you have a loved one who know what's being done behind their back or said what's behind their back, and what I'm looking at here, let's say somebody says somebody was into some kind of sex work, right? And you may be just like, oh my God, how does this person know this? And then you start remembering a loved one may have said to you, they got eyes in the back of their head. It sounds real funny, right? Like, okay, who really has eyeballs in the back of their head, right? But it is a gift to just kind of sort of know, but to run around telling people, like, I know people are talking about me behind my back. I know what they're saying. I know how people are looking at me. I know how they, are saying certain things, or they think certain things. Of course, you're not reading somebody's mind, right? That's why you pray. You say, okay, well, source, show me what I'm thinking. Like, show me, why am I having these thoughts in particular? Like, what is it? And somehow it'll come out in a way that you would understand. That's why I always tell people, if you are a believer in whatever your religious beliefs are, and you're looking for physical evidence of something, that's when you say, okay, whatever your higher power is, source, God, whatever you believe, it's not a religious class, that's when you say, whatever your faith is rooted in, that's not a stupid question. I don't believe it's really a stupid question. I just feel like if you don't know, if you're having all these downloads and dreams, so show me what I'm not seeing. Like, show me, like, And I do that all the time. If I'm like driving or what, I'm like, why am I having certain thoughts? Like, why am I having, show me what I'm not saying. Like, show me a sign of something. So somebody had an awakening when they were on a trip. Somebody was had some kind of an awakening when they were on some kind of trip, and something was overwhelming for you, possibly. Whoever you are, you could have gone. Usually that happens when you're out in the middle of an ocean, because I'm seeing water here, and something was just overwhelming. Something was really, really overwhelming, and you could have made another connection with another Capricorn, you know, that's like, okay, why am I having these thoughts about this particular Capricorn? Fish could be involved in something, right? So something could have smelled fishy. You could have been around fish. Something caused you to, something inspired you to look into something. Something inspired you to look into something, because something could have smelled fishy on somebody, right? I saw this minister on Instagram. He's pretty popular, and he was talking about down low men, right? And he's married, wife, 3-4 kids, you know, beautiful family. And he sells, I want to say he's a biochemist. He gives a lot of really, really good advice on like relationship advice. His wife, she does a really good job on the relationship advice and stuff. And he was just telling women, like, be very careful. He's basically warning women to like be very careful. He said, from a man's perspective, you know, I've seen it all, I've done it, you know, whatever. And he was trying to explain to women, this is what you look out for, right? His wife, she gives advice to women and stuff online. Like I said, beautiful married couple, kids, family. I think the wife, she's pregnant with maybe like the 4th or 5th baby. And I can't remember the name of his channel, his page right now on Instagram, but something seems fishy. Something smelled fishy or seemed fishy to you about some kind of work that somebody was into. And this 8 right here speaks to Scorpio. And Scorpios are pretty, have like a detective mind. Like somebody was like, okay, when I walked away from something didn't sound right, something smelled fishy, something just didn't sit well with somebody, right? So we're talking about reset here. And so when we talk about energy, we're talking about night energy. Somebody said something that just, somebody said, you know, I need to look into something. Something don't sound right. Something maybe around a burning bowl or fear or doubt, or something just didn't sound right. Like something, let me look into something. Like let me start paying attention to something, right? So past influences would be, like I said before, 8 of Cups here. It's like somebody said something to somebody and they had an afterthought, like after it was said. Like somebody's like, hold on. Y'all know what I'm saying? Capricorn is almost like a person said, wait a minute. Somebody had an afterthought about something. You could have had an afterthought about something you heard. Somebody said something. Night energy is Pentacles energy. Night energy is number 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Something inspired you to walk away from something, but also it's like you got eyes in the back of your head. Like it was something as an afterthought. Like after I walked away, I thought about something. Like, wait a minute, what were they trying to say? Like what was somebody trying to say? That's when you want to start writing things down. That is when you want to start writing things down. The conscious influence would be the Emperor card. So an Aries could have said something to you, or somebody had a first impression of you. Somebody could have had a first impression of you, or you could have had a first impression of somebody else. But then when you heard them say something, you were just like, wait a minute. Because Aries rules first house. It doesn't necessarily mean it's an Aries. It could have been an Aries moon sign because we're talking about water. But somebody could have had a first impression of you, but then their first impression is not always a lasting impression. Obviously, you see the person walking away from something. Somebody could have had a first impression of you, but it's not their lasting impression. They say, you know what, let me do some digging. Let me start looking at something. Let me start paying attention to something now. Okay? Because 8 connects us with the death card. When the moon moves through Scorpio, that's where sacred sex is involved, and that's where money is involved, right? So somebody could have said something about somebody that now they're looking back like, I can't really see them into that kind of work. Like somebody could have said this person is into some kind of sex work for money or whatever. And Aries could have said something. Somebody could have an Aries moon. And we see this dark horse right here. Something was just overwhelming for somebody, right? Like, okay, nah, something don't sound right. Okay, something smells fishy. Something sounds fishy. Something is not right. You know what? Let me just say this, and I said this in other readings before. If someone is claiming that you're into some kind of sex work, because 8 would say, you know, death card, right? But this is in the minor arcana. If somebody was saying that you're into some kind of sex work, and I'm saying this working horse right here, if it were me, and I'm not knocking anybody's profession, I don't judge people for what they do, but I'm not into any kind of sex work. But if somebody has said that to me, and the people who halfway was like cut down the middle, I would cut them off without even batting an eyelash. Because people who know me know how hard I work, and how many people that I've personally helped out in my family, friends, like help people with, I mean, I don't even need to go into, because I don't believe in like, you know, putting all your business out there, out in social media about, oh, you help this person do this, you help do that. You don't need to keep track or record of stuff. But if anybody believed that you were into some kind of sex work and you know that you aren't, for me, that would be easy. I would just cut them off. There'd be nothing, and I wouldn't care who thought whatever. That's just be me. And if somebody were to spread that rumor, I'm coming after every single person that spread that rumor. Literally, I'm coming after every single one of them. Defamation of character, the works. You hear me? I'm coming after everybody. Okay? If you spread it, you're a part of the problem, because that right there could bring a tower down on people. Somebody intentionally wanted to bring a tower down on you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And somebody said, you know what, let me look into that, because this is ruled by the Tower card, right? And Scorpio is also ruled by the Tower card, but it's also ruled by the Judgment card. Like people want to bring judgment down on somebody for what kind of work they do. Almost like somebody said, oh, you read cards? You must by default be into dark magic. That is a lie straight from the pit of hell. That's a lie. That's not even true. Plenty of people read cards. That would be like saying every pastor, every rabbi, every minister is into some kind of dark magic. That is a lie. That would be like because you had an experience at a church or a mosque or a temple, then you're labeling literally every single organization as being evil or demonic. How fair would that be to you or anybody else, right? I just know personally, if it was me, I wouldn't even bat an eyelash in cutting people off. It does just me. Because it's very damaging, it's very hurtful. It would be a lie, first and foremost. And I'd come out to every single person that said it, who spread that rumor. I would. Because people will be looking at you every time you walked away, every time you dress. Like, see, this person right here has on his dress that's flowing in the wind. If you was a man, somebody looking at you, you know, like you just some sex toy or whatever, you know, like, okay. And something is just overwhelming. Something is just overwhelming. Literally could drive people to drink or be on medication to hear that kind of craziness. Y'all, whew, child, I'm just trying to inhale and exhale. Because I'm telling y'all, it'd be a whole lot of hurt feelings. Because sometimes you can trace it right back to the type of energy that you may have dated in the past that would say some really mean, dark stuff like that about you, because they're so overwhelmed by you answering a call in your life and you closing out a cycle. This right here is the last card in the this would be the last house, the 12th house. Some people would be so overwhelmed by you speaking living your dreams. Like you had a dream that, let's say that you was the Hierophant. Let's say you had a dream that, I had a dream that I was going to start my own church, or I was going to start my own mosque, or start my own temple, or, I feel like I'm built for something, right? Some people are so overwhelmed by you speaking something into existence. It's almost like you could see it. Like, okay, I tossed something into a burning bowl. I saw that, I prayed about something because I'm a prayer warrior. I saw myself in this leadership position. And some people are so overwhelmed by you speaking life into something. It literally drives some people to drink. It actually exposes your light. Because remember, the sun exposes the moon. Your light is your light is exposing people's demons. Because they had such a God complex, they just knew that they were going to stop you or block you from, stepping into that sunlight and cleansing fear, doubt, uncertainty. It's like they couldn't even see that you spoke. This number 1 and 2 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. You literally spoke your dreams into existence. You said, I'm going to start living in I rule 10th house, whatever, if you're Capricorn. I see myself fishing. I see myself, starting a church or mosque or a temple. I see myself raising horses or learning how to ride a horse. I see myself, y'all see what I'm saying, manifestation. I see myself, going on a vacation, like hooking up with people, like going on vacation in the middle of the ocean. I see like somebody has learned how to manifest, and it's literally driving people to drink. It's almost like everything you put your mouth to, this is how powerful words are. So when a person says something that you're into, some kind of work that you know that you're not, or a loved one is into some kind of work that you know that they're not into some kind of work, that's the end right there. That's the end right there. That's the end. I wouldn't even say anything to them. I would literally let whoever think whatever. I wouldn't even say anything to them. That's the end. That's the end of that. I don't need to talk about anything else. So, like I said, the past influences was 8 of Cups, right? And so the conscious influence would be the Emperor card, right? And so this is structure, discipline, sovereignty. You are consciously seeking stability amidst cosmic change, holding firm to your purpose. Again, somebody you already rule, 10th house, Capricorn, and whoever you are, man, woman, it doesn't really matter. You're built for your 10th house. You actually your sign literally rules 10th house. Like Aries rules 1st house, Pisces rules 12th house, Taurus rules 2nd house. And so you can speak that into existence, and it literally irritates people's demons when you say, okay, I'm looking at my birth chart here and I'm speaking this into existence. I'm speaking life into it. I prayed over it. I see it. I see it. It's no secret. I see it. You're not even trying to keep it a secret. You're not even part of some secret, like, oh, we got to keep it a secret. No, I spoke light of, this is the confidence that somebody has. No, I'm not operating in fear. It's like I had eyes in the back of my head. I knew something. I could see myself tossing fear, doubt, uncertainty. I could see myself starting a church. I could see myself, being a psychic, like, or having psychic gifts. I could see myself raising horses. I could see myself vacationing, or like getting out in the middle of the ocean. I could see myself in a leadership position. That's how powerful words are. So yeah, when somebody, act like they God in your life and basically is telling you a lie about what kind of work, oh, you're not supposed to be working in this, and I think you should be doing it. That's when you say, okay, you know what? You're a distraction. You're a distraction. You're not going to speak death over something that the Creator created for me to do. You're not going to speak death over that. I need your distraction. right? So the Tower card would be, you know, the influences, because somebody's having a total recall. Somebody's having a total recall. Somebody loves being out in the water. You see water here and you see water here. Either somebody works near water, whether you work from home or you like being out in the water. Again, it's like, you know, that salt water just cleanses away. When you're talking about salt being salt of the earth, it's a cleanser. It cleanses away just this stubbornness, or like, okay, I'm lost, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, right? Y'all understand this is hitting a reset button for somebody. But this 8 has a different element with the moon here, because when the moon moves through Scorpio, and 1 and 8 in this card, which is the 18th card in tarot, is 9. It puts an end to, when you're in the middle of some energies here, and it could be 3 energies here. It could be a Taurus, a Pisces, and and an Aries. And you're working really, really hard, and you're trying to toss some things into a burning bowl, and people are demonizing stuff. Whoever these energies are, something has come to light. Something has come to light. But you got to follow this way. You got to do this from the ground up. I'm trying to tell y'all, you can lead people to water, but you can't force them to drink it. When I mention pulling your birth chart, pull your birth chart. That is not telling somebody to quit their job. Please do not go into your job and say, hey, listen, I just pulled my birth chart yesterday. Because that is how impulsive some people are. I just pulled my birth chart yesterday, and I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this job. Don't do that. Please. Okay, don't walk up your job. I got eyes in the back of my head. I can see this. You're probably in the right job, but you haven't realized the purpose yet. Okay? Because we're all returning to pure consciousness. So you're probably in the right job, but you haven't realized the purpose of that job yet. So that's how it works. You probably haven't realized the purpose, and that's for you to talk to your higher power. So it's, what is the purpose of me working on this job if my manager is acting like a baboon? If your manager is acting like that, or what is the purpose of this job? And you know, I'm not really being paid that well, but I really, really like this job, and I really need more money. But you know, I really like these people I work with. Well, what's the purpose of this? How come I can't make more money in this job? That's a question for you. That's a question for prayer. So your the Queen of Pentacles would be the would just kind of be, like I said, we had the Wheel of Fortune also here, but the Wheel of Fortune would be like the near future. Somebody's going to feel very, very fortunate that you rule 10th house. I would not suggest somebody quit their job. I got to reiterate this. Please do not go and talk about, hey, listen, I just pulled my birth chart yesterday or today during this new moon in Virgo, and because Virgo rules 6th house, and I got a feeling that I'm in the wrong job. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Don't do that. Even if you think somebody else did it, usually people give it thought. Very seldom do people just walk in just one day and just say, hey, I quit. Very seldom, you know. But yeah, here's the World card here. That is the, you know, the near future. The near future is, excuse me, the Wheel of Fortune for you all. It's going to be the Wheel of Fortune for you all, right? So you're going to feel very fortunate that you got on top of something. And remember, that's the 10th card in tarot. You are ruled 10th house, right? This card fell out sideways. So somebody may have like reservations possibly about a Leo, right? Because you wear your heart on your sleeve here. So there could be you could have a lot of love for a Leo. I don't know who, you know, but somebody could feel like they're a lamb in a lion's den to some degree. You could feel like you're a lamb in a lion's den. Could be Leo sun, Leo moon, right? But somebody could feel like, okay, you're a sheep amongst wolves or lions, or you know, something could just feel like you're not in the safest space wherever you are, right? It would be like being out in the middle of the ocean and your mind starts drifting off to, oh my God, how far are we from the shore? oh God, right? You just like almost in panic mode. And if that's the case, if you're in the middle of an ocean and you feel like, okay, I saw this scary movie, and then people, you know, they went scuba diving, and in the movie, you know how people and start getting nervous about something, but like, yeah, so you could have some kind of halfway feelings about some things, because when you see the moon come out, it can feel like illusions and confusions, and you don't really know what to believe and what's going on. That's why you hear readings, take what resonates with you. But if you ever heard that somebody was into some kind of sex work, the best thing for you to do is come straight out and ask them, for real. Just, that's the best thing to do. If somebody gets offended, doesn't necessarily mean that they're lying. You know, some people would just be like, okay, where in the world did that rumor start, right? I just know me. That would be the end of the relationship with anybody. Friendship, working relationship, whatever. That would just be the end. And I let people think whatever. But I'm seeing here also for you all, you having a tower moment. A total recall of some things, right? Just having a total recall of some things. Somebody wants you to believe something, and even if you halfway believe something that overwhelms you, if people are still alive, because I'm still looking at this 8 card, which connects us with the death card, that could have meant that a relationship ended, or you don't look at people the same way anymore because you may have heard something you didn't know what to believe, and you got somebody sitting here smiling and laughing like something is funny, you know, and that could have just been the end of a relationship, just because, for real, if somebody even halfway, and I'm just again speaking on me, if somebody halfway believed, and I'm talking about, I have worked very, very hard for everything that I had, but if somebody even halfway believed that I was into some kind of sex work, I would end the relationship with them. Because what's wrong with your mouth? Like, for real, what's wrong with your mouth? Why can't you just ask, right? And beyond that, if you feel like a loved one is into some kind of sex work or something like that for money, the first thing on somebody's mind should be safety. If you really love a person, for real, that's the first thing that should be on somebody's mind. Is like, are they safe? Like, what kind of environment are they in that they would even have to do that? Is it something I could do to help a loved one? For real, if they're into some kind of work, you know, it's like, okay, how can I get them to safety? Even if you didn't want them to live with you, okay, and you felt like they were unsafe and they needed some time to kind of get their brains together, or because again, you're not judging somebody. You never know what people have to do, but how can I help financially? Can I pay for you to stay somewhere for a while? Or, you know, who else can we all pull out money together? Let's get some help, you know. That's just how my brain is wired. I don't know. But here we have environmental influences. So the Tower here, you know, external circumstances may collapse outdated foundations. This isn't destruction, but cosmic realignment to make space for new blessings. Yeah. So a whole tower is coming down. You know, a whole tower is coming down. Hopes and fears would be 5 of Pentacles. Somebody may have said that, you know, you were always being put out of something, or you're going to have to get out or be put out of somewhere, or somebody put somebody out of somewhere, or whatever the case may be. There's always a story to something. There's always why. Why would somebody say this? Why? In other words, there's always a reason to ask. Always a reason to ask. Because somebody is being real cold-blooded. The only times, if I had people living with me, the only time I would ever put somebody out of something is there was some kind of violence involved. Or somebody tried to fight me, somebody tried to, or put their hands on me or any way, shape, form, or fashion. That's the only way I would either leave, or if it was my place, somebody would be put out. That's the only reason. Violence. And people can believe what they want to believe. That was the only reason. You threatened to have me you know, done in, y'all know the word, or you did something. Done. I'm done. I'm done. You ain't gotta say nothing else to me. I'm done with you for life. You tell whoever, whatever. I'm done with you. But yeah, so the hopes and fears, like I said, would be Five of Pentacles, and that would be, you know, shows fear of loss or lack, you know. And so Spirit reassures you that while something may be released, you're never truly left without support. The divine always provides, right? So yeah, if somebody feels like they're gonna be kicked out of something, this is where self-worth comes in. This is where self-worth comes in. This is where you can move beyond this. This is where self-worth comes in. That's when you know, when you're at your lowest of low, that's when you know who your friends are for real. That's when you know when your friends are. But I'm not going in somebody's house that somebody let me stay in their house, cussing them out, trying to fight them, threatening them, all of that. That's no. No. Outcome. The judgment chooses the spread, right? And this is the World card here. No, somebody let you stay in their house and you cussing them out and you trying to fight them and all that. No, you must have somewhere else to go. You must have somewhere else to go because you done lost all your marbles for real. But the outcome is the Judgment card. You're learning how to rise above judgment, right? So judgment closes the spread. A rebirth is at hand, and this is where the solar eclipse is. This is a reset. The eclipse marks the awakening of your higher self, calling you to answer destiny and clarity and courage. Yeah. Somebody has eyes in the back of their head. When they walk away from something, whether they close out a cycle, they move on, it's like, okay, it may take them a minute for it to register because, again, you all are ruled by, depending on what planet. Some people are, like I said, are ruled by inner planets. Some people are ruled by outer planets. But sometimes it takes people a minute for stuff to register, right? Because life is lifing, right? So something could have taken you a minute for it to register in your mind. Like something could have happened a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago or last year, and something is just now clicking for you. You could be having dreams and downloads like, okay, why am I having these dreams and downloads about such and such, whatever, right? Doesn't make something true or false. It just could mean, okay, was it about me or was it about somebody else? That's the thing about dreams is when people are asking about interpretation, and I'm going to do an extended part over on the Patreon side. That's the thing about dreams and interpretations. A person could have a dream about fish, for example, and say, oh, somebody must be pregnant. Somebody could be pregnant with purpose. It may not actually be a baby, right? Somebody could be pregnant with purpose. Like, you know, you could feel like, okay, I'm getting closer and closer to asking, because I asked Source, what is the purpose of me having these downloads? And it literally could, for some of you all, it could be about somebody that you work with. Somebody that you work with could be pregnant. Somebody that you work with could have walked away and had a second thought. You could have walked away and had a second thought about somebody. Like, okay, what is the purpose of this? Like, what is the purpose? And so somebody's threatening to, yeah, but there's a reason why people say, okay, you gotta go. It must be some kind of, I mean, some people, whatever crosses a line for you, whatever crosses a line for you that will cause you to walk away, but you should have a line at least that if a person crosses that line, okay, it's just time to walk away. It's time. I'm not fighting you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just done. I'm grateful for everything. Somebody step in your face, they cuss you out, call you the N-word if you black, or call you a racial, whatever your race is or whatever. Hey, you know what? Goodbye. They called you some kind of name that hits real deep, you know, generationally, whatever your race is or whatever your culture is. And I can't begin to know all the names, but all of it is painful. All of it is hurtful, right? So I'm going to take it over to the other side. 151, make magic. So your desires are in your hands. Your angels say the time is now to create your future. The things you want are not just going to happen on their own. You'll need to create them. The steps that you take today have a direct link to what happens. I'm just trying to make sure that's why I'm kind of slowing down. I want to make sure that the doesn't cut off, to what happens to you in the future. So sit in a quiet spot and take 5 deep centering breaths. As you inhale, envision supportive energy flowing into you. As you exhale, know that what you want wants you. I saw something the other day on, y'all be surprised at, like, you know, why people look at, you know, social media. It gives you a lot of inspiration about a lot of different things. But this person on, I want to say it was either on Instagram, or maybe it was like a segment of like a little movie clip that I saw for a show. But this person was basically like telling them all the sacrifices that they made for them. And the person comes back and go, I didn't ask you to do all of that. No, thank you. I really appreciate your hard work. You worked really, really hard. You worked from the ground up. It was just basically straight up gaslighting. I didn't ask you to do all of that. I didn't ask you to do all the extra stuff. Got it. Got it. Loud and clear. So whatever your situation is, you know, once a boundary is crossed, that's when you have to enforce, you know, like I said, a boundary was crossed. Somebody could have put you in somebody else, somebody that you love could have put you in somebody else in a very, like I said, dangerous situation. And so, yeah. You're learning how to rise above the judgment. Learning how to rise above the judgment. So somebody could have a Leo sun and a Leo moon. Could put you in somebody in a very dangerous situation of being kicked out of your home. You know, you feeling sick to your stomach. You know, I'm telling y'all, this 8 right here, whenever I see 8, and I know with the moon phases, connects us with sacred sex and it connects us with money. Somebody could have saw somebody burning something, putting something in a burning bowl, and made up a whole narrative around somebody tossing something into a burning bowl on purpose. Especially if they know, you know, they could have made up something on purpose. But yeah, I am filled with energy, right? And so this is good energy. You see, I am here twice, right? So I am would be source, the creator, higher power. So source is the one that gives you your energy. Source is the one that you're grateful for, right? Because somebody needed something in the physical sense. Like somebody could have been just kind of stuck on like trying to process something and maybe needed something in the physical sense. Like, okay, something smells fishy, something don't sound right as far as work is concerned. I'm telling y'all, if it was me, I can't tell y'all, and I can't give anybody any advice, because I'm going to take this over to the Patreon side. If anybody ever said that I was in any kind of sex work, I would cancel them immediately. There's nothing you can say to me. Nothing. Because people know me. They know how hard I work for everything I have. There's no, I don't need to cuss you out. I don't need to go off on you. I don't need to stand there and explain. If you couldn't just come out your face and just straight up ask me, you know, I heard that you was into some kind of work. Is it true? I'm probably ask you who said it, because I want to go directly to who said it. Because let's clean this up right now. Okay. But that right there, allowing, right? Radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. They wouldn't even exist to me. For real. I work way too hard. Like, for real. Like, I have the work ethic of a Capricorn. For real. Like, that's how hard I work. So, somebody telling that kind of lie? I don't even know if I would be mad. I would just be aware. Okay. That's the frequency that you want? Got it. Just know you can lose my number. So your inner child is very proud of you. You can lose my number. As far as I'm concerned, you don't exist anymore. Your bitter ex's lover wants you. I don't even know what that means, but it's time to open your vault door. Somebody need to keep people out of their business. That's what this is. Whenever you see the Five of Pentacles, you've been talking too much. You've been putting people too much in your business for them to just, they feel like they can just overstep a boundary and say or do some things about what goes on behind closed doors in your house or somebody else's house. You've been talking too much. He apologizes for betraying you. Move in silence and move in peace. Somebody's sitting around talking to their friends and people talking about you behind your back. They're not really your friends. You let some people into your house. They saw how your house is built, how you so happy, you got a smile on your face. You just in good spirits, and you think these people are your friends. That'll be the day that they be canceled for life. You don't even exist anymore. First red flag, pray and meditate. Keep moving forward. The new one is extra special. If this is an ex, they don't exist anymore. Pray and meditate. They don't exist anymore. There's nothing they could ever say to you, because that kind of stuff right there, to say somebody's into some kind of sex work to get people off this planet, y'all know what I'm saying? To the upper room. Y'all know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not judging anybody who has to do what they need to do for work. But if you know that's not you, and somebody put that kind of rumor out there, and people looking at you behind your back, licking their lips and trying to set you up and do all kinds of stuff, somebody's in a crisis. Yep, throat chakra cleanse. Throat chakra cleanse is about speaking your truth. It really is about speaking your truth. But it's also about like how you practice, like, you know, warming up your throat chakra is like singing exercises. That could be like me, 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 me. You don't have to be a singer. You can get in your car, turn your music on, your favorite tunes on, sing to the top of your lungs. Don't throw your head back while you're driving, obviously. But yeah, everything in moderation. You gotta be careful of what you're saying around people about X, Y, and Z. Somebody could come into your house and go, oh my God, what your parents do for a living, or what do you do for a living? How do you afford all of this, right? All people have to do is ask. That's what I have for you. See you all in the next video. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna take it over to the Patreon side because I'm picking up on some more energy. But yeah, this reading reveals a profound spiritual shifts for you during the new moon in Virgo and solar eclipse, leaving behind illusions and stepping into a higher calling. So trust the divine timing. Your soul is ready for this next chapter, sending love, light, and blessings on your journey. And if you do ever feel like, if you really love loved ones and you feel like they're into some kind of, somehow something happened, the first thought should be safety, for real. Like if you really feel like you're asking them and you feel like they're in some kind of a dark place or whatever, your friends or whoever, it doesn't really matter. And if you really don't know what to believe, is first ask them, but also be a support. Like, you know what, if you resorted to that kind of work, you know, help them to toss fear and embarrassment to the side. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna, you know, bring you to some people. Like if you're a parent, if you're a college student or whatever, maybe my parents can help you, or maybe somebody can help you come out of a particular lifestyle or whatever the case may be. I have some resources, you know, maybe you have a place to stay. I mean, I don't know, maybe you have a place for somebody to stay, but there's too many people out here that is basically, you have some jealous people talking about you behind your back. I mean, I can't say it no other clearer than that. You have some jealous people talking about you behind your back. So for that, nah, we ain't friends today, tomorrow, next week, 20 years from now. As far as I'm concerned, you've been forgiven. Access is denied. I'm done with you. Access is denied. And when I tell you, people tell whoever whatever, they can tell whoever whatever. So career, yeah, 10th house is about career and vocation. Again, you could be on your job right now, and some people could be so jealous that you moved up in the ranks that they will spread lies on you, your parents, grandparents, your whole bloodline, and then think, oh, I was just joking, I was kidding, I didn't know they were going to take it seriously. Because they secretly attracted to somebody. Nah, it wouldn't even be no halfway. It's no, I ain't meeting you halfway, nowhere. No, meet me halfway, but because help me understand. Nah, it's just a straight up hell nah. No, I ain't meeting you halfway. No, I couldn't see it, didn't understand. I don't know how you was overwhelmed, you was drunk, or you on medication. Like, what was the situation? Expansiveness. So eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. Somebody just decided to edge source out or edge God out. Like I heard the spiritual leader say online, ego is edging God out. Somebody decided to operate from their lower place when we're talking about when we're talking about chakras. Your lower, meaning your root chakra, sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra would be your ego. Somebody didn't even get to the love part, right? To where your head and heart were at war with each other. Somebody was just stuck, like in processing something. You know, what in the world I'm processing. Listen, are you or not into some stuff? Like, what kind of work do you do? I'm asking. That's just me. I'm gonna ask. What kind of work do you do? This is a nice house. Ooh, this is a nice house. What kind of work do you do? Somebody could be in between, like somebody, this number 5 lets me know somebody could be in between singledom. Like somebody could be like going from being married to divorced, right? Because the 6th card would be the, the 6th card would be the Chariot card. I mean, that would be the 7th card, but the 6th card could be lovers. I mean, would be the Lovers card. That's where you're making a decision. Lovers card is not always about lovers. It's about making a decision. So you're on your way. You could be on your way. Somebody could be on their way to their twin flame, even though this card didn't come out in your reading, but somebody could have been waiting on their twin flame. Like I'm saying, yeah, and people believe in what they want to believe. This person is single. How they single? How are you single? And how can you afford all of this house? How could you afford all of this? Somebody must be into some kind of dark work. That is where it would end, right there. Especially if you know a truth about something. Ain't no secret. I know me. It wouldn't be no secret that I cut you off. You would know instantly. Like, nah, you must be out of your mind. You must be on. There must be a new batch of drugs that hit the street. Nah. You must be on something. And if you didn't care to even ask, was I safe? Is there something you could do to help? Goodbye. Goodbye. That's what I have for you. I'll see you over on the other side. So you're hitting a reset button. Everybody is hitting a reset button. Native Americans and Native American shamans believe that a solar eclipse is a powerful time of healing. As the sun, moon, and earth align, it realigns us by resetting our purpose on an individual level, dissolving differences and creating a coming together as one on a collective level, right? So yeah, ain't no coming together. You believe that? Ain't no coming together. Forgiven, access denied, out of my business for life. That's what I have for you. I'll see you on the Patreon side. Bye.